Welcome back, friends. It is Professor Pandemic. Kind of in a poopy mood today because today's lesson is multiplication with word problems. So let's look at this first word problem here today. A company shipped 48 boxes of canned dog food. Each box contains 24 cans. How many cans of dog food did the company ship in all? Well, when I'm looking to answer a word problem, I look to answer these questions while I'm thinking of it. So I'm looking at what question do I need to answer? And if you see here, how many cans of dog food did we ship at all? So I need to know how much dog food the company shipped. So that's the question I have to answer. And I always look for the question marks, because if I have a question mark here, that's going to kind of tell me that I need to find something. If there's more than one question, there'd probably be more than one question mark. What do I need to solve the problem? So I go up there and I look at the information that I'm given. And I see that they shipped 48 boxes of dog food. So I'm going to need to know that. And that each box contains 24 cans. That's all the information that I see in this problem that I'm going to need. You can usually figure it out, especially if there are numbers. I always look for the numbers in the problem because that's usually a surefire way to get most of that information. I also ask if there's any information that might be in the problem that I don't need. For this problem, there's not. And operations I'm going to use. This operation, because it says how many did the food company ship in all, it's a total, and I see this word each box. That makes me know that this is going to be a multiplication problem. So I'm going to use multiplication. And over in my fancy chart over here, I'm going to write 48. And then we're going to multiply by 24. So for this problem, 4 times 8 is 32. So I'm going to remember here, if you're doing this at home, make sure you're writing it, because I'm doing it in a PowerPoint slide. I'm just going to remember there's a little 3 up here. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19. And I'm just going to move it over so it looks like it's lined up. Remember from our previous lesson, you put the 0 there before we multiply by tens. 2 times 8 is 16, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And now I have to remember to add these numbers. So I'm going to put this addition sign there as my PowerPoint goes a little crazy. 2 plus 0 is 2. Wow, Mr. Pandemic can't talk today. 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1 is 11. Comma goes here after every 3 numbers. So 1,152 is our answer. And if we were doing this the best way possible, friends, as I move my thing over here for a second, I would put 1,152 cans of dog food, because I always want to make sure I label my answer, because that way I know it's not cat food, Cheerios, coffee, cake. It's cans of dog food. So right there, friends, is kind of how I like to solve these problems. Let's do one more together. So we have a chessboard that has 64 squares. At a chess tournament, 84 chessboards were used. How many squares are there on 84 chessboards? Well, again, I need to know about the squares on a chessboard. So I'm going to write squares on a chessboard, because I need to know how many squares there are. What do I need to solve the problem? Well, I see a chessboard has 64 squares. So I'm going to write that in. And then at a tournament, they use 84 boards at one tournament. Man, boards, I'd be bored. Little play on words there, but that's what Professor Pandemic does, wordplay. Not a lot of extra information, and again, I'm going to use multiplication here. So then I'm going to come back over. And again, I'm doing it in this chart so you can see how it's going, but you should be doing it on a separate sheet of paper when we get to the problems we're going to start. We have 64, and we're going to multiply by 84. If you don't like having 84 on the bottom, you could switch these numbers because the associative or the commutative property of multiplication says it doesn't matter what operation you do in what order, because if you have 64 on the top or 64 on the bottom, you're still going to get the same answer. So it's up to you which number you want to have on the top or the bottom. Whatever is easier for you. So I have 4 times 4, which is 16. Carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So my first line there is 25. Come down here. Don't forget the 0. And then we have 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. We have 48 plus 3, 49, 50, 51. So that's 5,120. Don't need a comma there because we're just going to add it up. But let's not forget our adding sign, or else Mrs. Pandemic might yell at me. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 5 plus nothing is 5. So our answer would be 5,376 cookies? Boogers? No, squares on a board. So I might just write squares because we know what we're talking about there. So friends, if we have it all correct, that's what we should do. I'm sure if Mr. Pandemic made or Professor Pandemic made a mistake, someone in the chat will let me know. Now, we have 2 problems for you to work on. Let's look at the first one. So, this has gone up to 3 by 2. There were 135 cars in a rally. Each driver paid a $25 fee to participate in the rally. How much money did the drivers pay in all? I'm going to give you a couple seconds, so pause this recording if you're in the live lesson or if you're looking on your own, and solve this problem. We'll come back to go over the answer. Did you solve it? Well, if you got it correct, your answer should have been $3,375. So let's quickly go over it. We had to find our information where we needed 135 cars with a $25 fee. We're using multiplication for our operation, and I need to find the total number of drivers paid. So this total lets me know either addition or multiplication, but this trigger word each lets me know that it's probably going to be multiplication. So I multiply 135 times 25. Now, first step, when I multiply 135 by 5, I get 675. Then when I multiply 135 by 20, don't forget the 0 down here, I get 2,700. And then when I add everything up, I get $3,375. If you got it right, give yourself a pat on the back. If you missed it, no worries, you still tried your best. So give yourself 2 pats on the back. One more problem left. Let's check it out. A sporting goods store ordered 144 cans of tennis balls. Each can contains 3 balls. How many tennis balls did the store order? Last problem for this lesson. Take a minute, pause the recording, and see if you have become a multiplication word problem mathematician. Hopefully we're sending you off on a good note here, because this wasn't even a double-digit multiplication problem. It was a 3 by 1 multiplication problem. You had 144 cans of tennis balls multiplied by 3, which got us an answer of 432 tennis balls. So hopefully you are able to give yourself a high five. Woo! So this was our word problem lesson for today, friends. If you are in a live lesson, your teacher might do some more problems with you. Otherwise, hopefully you can go into your Ingenuity and your Odyssey and work on today's word problem lessons. If you have any questions, please contact your teacher or go to a small math group to help out. For today, I'm Professor Pandemic with his poop emoji hat saying, the more you learn, the more you know. Have a great day.